Hello, everybody. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is a special Connecticut Sports Talent Show, the top performance or performances of the week. And this is the first of two. I have another player who will be coming on potentially later today or tomorrow. But the player I have right in front of me is a new Fairfield senior running back who, in his first varsity game, he did pretty good. 5 TDs, over 300 yards on 20 plus carries. Jason Caswell. And Jason, first off, just want to say you must be reeling as high as you are off that game on Friday.
I'm so glad about the performance. I also just wanted to say, like, it wasn't like a solo performance. It was everyone on the team, the O line, my blockers, even on the defensive side of the ball. We had a good D day, everything. Anything could have gone wrong, really. That's what I got to say.
Now, if I forgot to mention before, Jason plays for New Fairfield, not to get confused with New Fairfield Prep or Fairfield Prep or any of those other schools. There's a lot of Fairfields to go around, but New Fairfield plays in the SWC, which also has Bunnell and Weston, Pomperog, a lot of very, very good high school football programs. And I just want to ask you, Jason, as far as kind of the New Fairfield program itself, kind of what is the kind of what is the mantra for New Fairfield?
Like, I think we're all very hard workers, and I think we're gonna have a good season this year. Obviously, each week's a new week, and we can't get too cocky. We just gotta play the same as we always play. Play like it's our last. Play every game like it's 0-0, no matter the score.
That's a pretty good mantra. I think a lot of people could, get behind that, man.
Yeah.
Um, as far as kind of looking at before we get into the game and this, the preseason and such, everybody who didn't live under a rock last year, there was a lost season. Nobody
Yeah.
was able to play. Now, the last
Exactly.
time you were able to step on the field was your sophomore year.
Yeah.
How did you get through, the lost season and making sure you kept yourself mentally and physically in the best shape you could, knowing that you were going to be playing at some point?
I just always kept a positive attitude, always stayed on that grind just in case anything were to happen, just in case anything changes up. But we also had the 7-on-7 season, which is a good practice for that. So like that's really how like we stayed on our grind. And we always had practice. We were always in the weight room for the past 2 years. We've been grinding in the weight room. Everyone's been getting stronger and bigger. So like that's how we've been preparing really. And that's what we did.
How did you keep yourself though? Because you talk about how everybody was getting stronger and faster, and just with talking with players, man, there's certain guys who were able to take the time off and maximize their potential. I mean, there was a young man who was drafted by the Royals, Frank Mazzucato, went to East Catholic. Because of the quote unquote lost spring, he was able to kind of take a step back and work on his body. He went from throwing mid 80s to throwing 95, 90 plus, and disgusting breaking ball. When I think about what you were able to do in this game, and I can kind of just think of just the hard work you put in. What did you do that maybe you couldn't do if it was a regular season as far as workouts and such?
Probably go to the gym for like more. I went to the gym for a lot more time. I did training, got my footwork down, and just like I would watch plays, watch highlights, and like we went up to the field and also played. Like not even like during practice, just the practice, and just get all the plays, remember everything.
Was
So
that something that as you went through, man, because you talk about the plays, and you can be honest, as because a lot of players, it takes a while to be able to learn a system. Was
yeah,
that something that was not your strength when you were a freshman, sophomore? Maybe you needed kind of that time to take a step back to
yeah,
learn the playbook.
yeah. I could see that definitely because from our freshman year, then like more into the year we ran different offenses. So it was something to get like used to and something to get new to. But like you get used to it pretty quick once you keep repping it, just keep getting them reps in. It matters all about reps and time.
Okay, and the reps and timing and such, were you able? Because I apologize, I don't know your quarterback situation kind of over the last 2 years. Were you able to work out with your current quarterback,
Oh
past
yeah,
quarterbacks?
definitely, definitely. I love my quarterback. He's really good. He has really good vision and he good at calling the plays. And yeah, we over the off season he's throwing a lot of balls. We did a lot of 7-on-7s, making sure he was getting it up to because he went from a freshman straight to varsity. He's only a junior, so like that's a big jump, freshman to varsity. So like it's good for him because he did really good too on Friday. He had a very good performance.
Well, who's the quarterback? I mean, I'm sure
Oh,
it's not
Justin
just the
McCormick.
quarterback.
Oh, Justin McCormick. He's a junior.
Yeah, man. I mean, we talk about the jump. I mean, for you, sophomore to senior is hard enough. A
Yeah,
freshman who does not have any time to then going right to varsity his junior year, that's
that's
such an
crazy.
immense
Yeah.
leap.
But he always practiced. We used to have morning liftings, and I used to see him in the gym with his dad, just throwing the ball, taking his reps, getting his throws down. But now he's really good. He puts the time into and the effort.
And all the workouts that you were doing, man, during the entire 2020 and then kind of going towards the 2021 spring and the summer when things were starting to get ramped back up. During that stretch, man, was there any point during your workouts where you felt, because not obviously every day you're going to feel great. There's going to
Yeah,
be days where you're like, you know what, I don't know if I can do this. My body hurts, or you know what, are we ever going to play again? Is this worth it? Was there ever a point during those workouts where you felt like that?
like there were those like little points where I was like, damn, like I wish I could be playing on the field right now. Like that's all I want to do. But like you just gotta push through it, you know. I started the next season. What I wanted to prove this season, prove what I couldn't get last season, you know.
Mhm.
Just gotta put that hard work in and just keep pushing through it. Now I know how like no matter how you feel.
Did you watch any film of yourself or past players, either pro or college, anything like that, to try
I
to
watched
take
a
any?
lot of Zach Tripodi. He used to be a former running back for New Fairfield. I watched a lot of his film. He
Mhm.
was really good. And like that's really and a lot of Saquon Barkley. Definitely.
I probably should have guessed Saquon Barkley because you have a
Yeah.
Giants thing right
Yeah,
behind
right here. Go Giants.
you, even though they lost yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Sadly.
Yeah, I mean, hey, everybody in that division lost, I think, except for the Eagles.
Yeah, exactly.
Go figure. But let's go to a brighter side. Let's stick on you, man. So you talk about as far as just trying to put in the work and just trying to keep yourself level, as positive as you can.
Yeah.
During the summer workouts, I mean, did you know going into that, like, I'm the number one running back, I'm the bell cow?
No, no idea. I had no idea any of this is gonna happen. Like, it's crazy. It's like all hitting at once is actually it's like really cool too. You know, it's a good experience.
Mhm.
It's like really cool. And like I did not think that at all. And like everyone like a lot of kids on my team told me they were like, you're gonna be known. You're gonna be known. I was like, no, like I don't want to get that cocky. But and it's all from them. Like they all hype me up. They give me the motivation. All the coaches too. They all give me that motivation. It's just like makes me do what I do. I love everyone on my team. The coaches are the best.
As you reflect, man, on the game, and like I said, we'll get to that in just a moment. Do you kind of sit back and say, you know what, that extra rep I did during the summer workout, or the extra 2 hours I put into the gym on a Sunday, or during the 4th of July, let's just say, if somehow a gym was open, do you feel like that was worth it at the end of the day?
Oh, it was so worth it. 100% worth it. If I didn't do that, who knows what I would have done on Friday? You know, it's
Mm.
all worth it in the end because I needed that too. Definitely needed that stuff.
Okay, so the season's just starting, right? The season, as
Yeah.
far as kind of you're going into the first game, you're playing Weston. Like you told me, I didn't know this. Defending champs from 2019, if you
Yeah,
said that
it's on
correctly.
platinum champs.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, kind of, what was the overall mindset for the team? Kind of, what was going into that?
We all had like little nerves, obviously, but we all kept a good mindset, and we're just like, let's go. Let's just do what we always do. Let's just run out of here and win. You know, that was our mindset, and that was the end of it.
How many players from, the because you think about it, there was basically two classes that graduated, the 2019, the 2020. How many players were returning that even knew as far as kind of what Weston was?
We had like we have like 20 seniors this year. I think we have like a decent amount of players that were returning, but like no one. We only had two that actually played varsity like under the lights, like started and everything, and then everyone else is new to varsity football basically, and like Friday Night Lights.
You know what
But
though? I think in some ways though it's good though that you have that many seniors because that could be it could be a blessing and a curse because it's a blessing because at least they've been around, they're a little bit older and
exactly, yeah,
different players handle things differently, but it's also a curse because or I shouldn't even say a curse, but it's an unknown. I guess that's a better way to use it because
yeah,
you don't know what they can do. You know what I'm
exactly,
saying? You don't know what to expect because like you said, there's not a lot of varsity experience.
yeah, exactly. I could see that. But other than that, I think like because everyone put like not only me, everyone put that grind in over the off season. Everyone did, and
Mhm.
like everyone got way stronger from what they were. Everyone's times, weight, like 40-yard dash times, maxes, bench, squat, deadlift, they all shot up from a peak. It's crazy how everyone did. I love it.
And see, that's something too, man, that I think a lot of people don't talk about as far as kind of how did a team, when you think about a team that went from 1-9 to 10-0, you know what I'm saying? You wonder how did they get that good? It's yes, it's what
The
they did
grind.
on the field, but like you said, it's what they do off the field. It's the times, it's the weight room. I mean,
You treat
I don't
yourself.
know. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with the Woodland Hawks. They're in the NVL,
Yeah,
and a couple years ago. Coach Maffo, who's on the staff with Naugatuck, his first year they were 1-9. Then they
yeah.
were 5-5. Then they were, I think, 8-2 and 8-2. They
Each
kept,
year.
they kept continuing to win. You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly. So like that's how it really is, I think. And like we have like we all watch film, we all study it. Like we have all our DBs, all our linemen, all our linebackers, they all study it. Like they could like tell you what play like teams are gonna run on the field, like by the way they set up, by like the little alignments and everything.
That's impressive for even a team with not a lot of varsity experience to be able to see, because typically, just in athletes I've talked to, they need to play. They need to go through the motions. They need to be able to go through the reps, like you
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
But to
exactly.
not even have to do that on the field or do it very sparingly in practice and just know what to do. I mean, were
Yeah.
you kind of the same way?
I mean, I watched. I really don't play defense at all. 'Cause, like I play running back. I'm gonna be honest. I need the break kind of. But I watched like the other team's defensive film a lot, and like I study like the play that the other team ran, like see where all the gaps were on that play, just to like see, And like I like to see my vision, and then everyone else just start. It's all about dedication, really. Everyone on their team's dedicated. Everyone loves the game. They put blood, sweat, and tears into it, and they do anything for it.
Now, at what point during the game against Weston, Jason, did you feel like, you know what, I think this has a chance to be like a special day? Was it was it like a 2 yard carry? Was it a big time run? What was it?
It's probably after my third touchdown in the first quarter. I was like, dang, like this is actually happening right now. I was like, I just want to rise. I want to keep getting them, keep backing them up. And I was like to my line, I was like, block how you do every single play, open up them holes. I told the fullback, I was like, hit them blocks. We're gonna just keep running this up. And they did everything they had to. It was great. It's honestly great.
I'm surprised, man, that it took you until the third touchdown to think that something special was happening. Because I would think, again, I wasn't at the game, but I would think it was a very methodical kind of running game where you were getting a chunk of yards every single time you touched the ball.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it wasn't something like that where after maybe a big run, you were like, all right, kind of like the Zeke
yeah.
Elliott, like keep feeding me.
Keith, yeah, it was sort of like that too. Because off the start, Ryan Fado, one of our kick returns, he had a really good return, and we got good field position. And I scored right off the first play, and I was like, all right, like we're still on the roll. And then they got a kick return on us, so we were like, all right, let's go, let's get right back into it, do the same thing we do, and then we did it. I got like a 44-yard run, I think, and like right after that, like I guess you could say I was like let's go, keep doing it, and we just kept running it up.
Now, the game plan against Weston, because obviously you can say it now because the game was already played.
Yeah.
Was the game plan to run the football as much as you guys did, or was it kind of something different?
I mean, it was like because that's like that was basically our offense, but like we also like passed the ball too. It was like it matters how their defense is set up and everything. Like we try to notice that, see how like their alignments are, like the matchups on the field and everything. It all matters, kind of.
Oh yeah, it all matters as far as what they're showing. If they're
Yeah,
giving you,
exactly.
if they're only bringing three and they're dropping everybody else, if they're dropping eight and only bringing three, you'd be dumb to not run the football because
Exactly.
you have the gaps to be able to do it.
Exactly.
You know,
So
and like you were telling me, man, you also have the fullback. So now you
yeah,
have the extra blocker, and it's like, here's the open C, man. Just keep on running.
yeah, exactly. Just gotta move my legs to keep moving my feet, no matter what.
So obviously, your performance helped in a big time win and to take down a very, very good Weston team.
Yeah.
After the game was over, because I'm sure you were covered with media and fans and your friends and all that. Kind
Yeah.
of, what were you kind of like just in a daze? Was you know like a deer in a
I was
headlight? What
like,
was it?
I was honestly dead after the game. I was just like, wow, like this just actually happened. I was like, this is so cool. And I was like, I always wanted to be like, I always wanted to experience something like that, you know? I
And
was
you
like,
did.
yeah, I was like, wow, right after my first ever game too. That's crazy. And what was funny, we were projected to lose 10-2. Like the odds, we got voted against 10-2.
By
Got
who?
by game time CT.
Weren't they wrong on Fairfield Prep too?
Yeah, and Daniel Han. Yeah, they were wrong on that one too.
Yeah, they were wrong on a couple games.
But no, we love being the underdogs though. Love being the underdogs.
Hey, it's always good being the underdog because you know what? You're
Motivates
the
you.
hunter. You're not the hunted.
Exactly. Exactly. Love it.
Underdogs are I'm telling you, underdogs are the scariest teams to play.
Yeah, they are. They actually are. They actually are.
That's funny, man. And another thing too, you and I were talking before we started this. You played a little bit of varsity your sophomore year. You had, I think,
Yeah,
87 yards and you had a touchdown, correct?
we got in. I got in for the end of a game,
Okay.
and I scored, and I got 89 yards that game. I
Mhm.
think 87. It was one of the two. But yeah, it was like for a sec because we were blowing out the team, so they just put us in the JV.
But you
So
know what though? It was a precursor to this game. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, exactly.
If you kind of view it like that, you go from 87 to then 300 plus, one touchdown to four more for five.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
You know, you're putting up fantasy numbers, dude. Six touchdowns in two games
Yeah.
over
I had
400
65,
yards.
65 fantasy points on the week.
I'm glad you know that because I would not know that. I'm far behind the fantasy stuff, but
all my cousins were telling me stuff, but I'm not really good with that stuff either.
no, this is a question that I think I don't know if anybody from the media asked you because it's going to be hard every week to put up those numbers because the teams now know Jason Caswell. We need to
Yeah.
stop him.
100%.
Now you're going to be the known player.
Yeah.
Everybody did not know before. Um, there's probably, and I don't want to, I hope you run for that every game,
Yeah.
but it's going to be tough.
It's gonna be tough, obviously.
How are you mentally going to prepare yourself if you're not running the ball for 100 yards? If you don't have any touchdowns, how are you going to deal with that?
I'm just gonna play like I normally play. I'm gonna like have ones like congratulating me. However, like if I was playing good, I'm just gonna do the same person if they're doing the same thing as I did. You know, just gotta keep that same mindset as always.
And that
It's all about
mindset. What
it's
was
all
it?
about it's all about winning the game. It doesn't matter how you do. That's how and having fun.
Have you
And
always had that mindset?
yeah, and it's a team game too. So I can't only be one person. Can never only be one person.
And speaking of that, let's give credit where credit's due. Let's give credit to the big uglies, the big, the
Oh,
highs. You
my
want to
favorite
name your
people in the
offensive
world.
linemen? You want to name them?
Oh, Johnny Bassani, Ian Baker, Keanu Daniels, Visar Dushi, DJ Pellegrino, Doug Trainer. Well, there's a lot of them.
Did you get the fullback too?
Oh, the fullbacks, Vince Saro and Shane Radigan. Love those guys. I love them. I love all of them, all my heart. They're the most important people to me on the team because they make me do what I do, basically, you know?
You got to buy them dinner now. You got to buy them
Oh,
pizza.
100%. 100%. Love all of them. And then the greatest kids in the world, too. All the greatest kids in the world.
Jason, it was a pleasure to be able to have you on, man. Seriously, it
Thank
was a
you
lot of
so
fun.
much
And,
for having me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I mean, hey, thank you. Your talent and your performance, man. Again, once I saw first varsity game, 300 plus yards, five
I had
touchdowns.
319 actually. It wasn't 306. They redid it.
Oh,
Three,
now
and,
it's 319.
yeah, actually had 319, and then um there were penalties and stuff. Without the penalties, they were saying I could have had close to 400.
What? Oh, jeez. Dude,
And I
that's
would have tied
amazing.
our school record for touchdowns, but one of them got called out. I would have had 6. One got called out.
You know what? That's just a goal to have for your next game, right?
Yep, it's a new week. I can't get too cocky. This week's past. Each week's a new week. Got to play the same as I always do, you know? I can't let that get in my head.
That's a good mindset, man, to have, man. That's a very good
Got to
mindset.
keep that mindset.
Now,
Got
one more question I have for you really quick while I have you, because I know you're very, very busy. I know Monday Night Football is coming up.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, what is your do you have any what's what I'm looking for? Do you have like any thoughts, any ideas about playing college football?
Um, I mean, like, yeah, obviously, it matters like the school that get to me. Like, it matters the school, matters how far it is, if it's like close. Cause I don't know, I don't really know what I want to do yet. Like, I just started my senior, and all this just started happening. Like, I didn't expect this at all. Like, I had a little thing in my mind. It's like, like before that game, I was like, I want to get myself known. Like, my goal is to get myself known. Cause I saw him talk about all these players from like Connecticut and the SWC. I'm like, I want to be on that list. And I was like, and after this happened, I'm like yeah, like football is my sport, I think. And like I would love to play in college. That's my answer. I would love to play in college.
You know, man, I hope you have an opportunity to do that. If you keep doing what you're doing, even if you're not putting up the 300, 400 yards and 6 tubs, you're
Yeah.
going to find a place to go because there's always a school for everybody.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
but
you.
hey, man, thank you again for coming on. I wish you nothing but the
Thank you
best of
for
luck the
having
rest of
me.
the way.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too, man. That
I
wrap things
appreciate
up in the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent. I'm on our journey to find them all. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and be well.